Hello, it's Midwife Christine with the Birth Exchange Podcast, here exchanging relatable information about childbirth and beyond for mommies and midwives. Woo!
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's up?
What's up?
Man, we're living.
I have Mike and Samaya here.
Yes. Hello,
Y'all
hello,
are-
hello.
We've had a few babies together. A couple.
Yes. Yes, we have.
Two.
Boy
Just
and
two.
girl, yes.
Okay. So this is important to me because I want the world to see what home birth families look like, sound like, feel like. You know, I feel like there might be an image of a home birth family that might look a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're very normal people.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Very normal.
With normal lives, yes.
Ain't nothing strange about it.
So please just kind of walk us through, introduce yourselves and walk us through your home birth journey and experience for people.
Yes. So we're the Muhammad Gun family.
Yes.
And one of the most amazing things is that I seen my wife go through some amazing opportunities through this home birth experience. And so we have 4 children. So we have Alana, Aaliyah, Ali,
Getting
and
all-
Anila. So we're gonna name
all
all
of
these
them, right?
A's. All of them. All of them count.
All of them.
But the home birth experience has
All
been
4 of
amazing.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got my wife here. And she can
Yes.
tell you what she.
I'm Samaya. Yes, as my husband mentioned, we have 4 beautiful children. Our last 2 were home births.
Mhm.
The first 2 were hospital births, but the last 2 were home births, which was a rewarding opportunity to actually go through the transition from having a hospital birth to a home birth. What made me want to go into a home birth was my last 2 hospital births that I had, I didn't feel as though I was getting the necessary, I guess, needs or meeting my needs in terms of my wants in a hospital. And when I met Christine, she just listened. She listened to everything in terms of my wants, my needs, and the things that I wanted in that home birthing experience.
Which was what? Can you walk us through what you wanted differently?
Well, goodness gracious, where do I start?
I can start. Because a lot of
It's a lot.
times, I mean, wasn't it that I think the support
Yes.
that we were looking for,
Yes.
that, you have your first child, you think to yourself, okay, this is going to be an amazing experience. It's, we're going to be in a hospital, but it's actually very traumatic.
Mm.
You move through and there's all these, beds and lights and all these things that you just don't have no control over. And as the husband, you really don't have control over. You had control at one point. Now you don't have no more control.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
to not be able to get control, to see her, in this bed, confined, she wanted an opportunity to really be free.
Right. And I got that with the home birthing experience. I was able to have as many family members as I wanted. I was able to, call at all hours of the night, which I know she was probably so tired of me calling and texting, but she was able to walk me through, hey, Christine, is this supposed to happen? Is that supposed to happen? Whereas in a hospital, who are you calling at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock midnight? You're not going to get nobody. You might get a nurse line, but I mean, what can they really help you with? Whereas you were there to listen, to reassure me. And I didn't feel like I got a lot of that through my hospital births.
So who thought of the idea of home birth?
She did.
You. And how did you feel about it when she brought it to you?
I was nervous at first,
Okay.
right? Because a hospital, you think, if something happens,
Mm-hmm.
something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But, when things do go wrong, you want to be comforted.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was some complications with our first one. And we didn't necessarily know what to do, but to not have that control and to then watch as everybody kind of rushed in the room and then took control and took over everything. It was a big difference between having our first to having our last 2.
It was.
I got a chance to see her at a calm state of mind.
Yes.
I was calm. I
Yes.
mean, I was trying to play T.I. for the first one to calm down. I didn't have to do that this time
Bad
around.
move.
It was just amazing. And so, the candles, the aroma,
Yes.
the smells, all that stuff really did. It was
The
an
ball.
own experience. You know,
the doula, everybody, family, being able to be massaged, the music, everything was
Just the
just
environment
yes,
was more pleasing.
more calm, more pleasing. Yes, absolutely.
What do you think is one of the misconceptions about home birth? Just being a home birth family yourself, what do you think people thought it was, or
yeah.
maybe even what you might have thought it was before you experienced it?
Well, I think they thought we were gonna be like lighting candles and doing like witchcraft or something. Witchcraft. But I didn't think that. But that's a misconception.
I think so too.
I think a lot of people forget that, you know, when you come into a home birth, that it's really just like the hospital. I mean, you have care technicians, you have the van that was full of everything we needed. I think about our last baby, Adila, and all of the things that we were trying to do to get her to have
They pulled out all the stuff,
everything.
everything.
Yeah,
Let me tell
from
y'all
Oh
something.
my goodness!
Nausea
they
to-
tried
That baby had us working.
everything.
yeah. I think you even bought out a stool at one point.
Yes,
Everything.
and that
Yeah.
was the first time I saw.
And called
It's like,
another
what is-
midwife
Yeah,
over
so-
the
Yes.
girl, help
Yeah.
me get this baby out of here.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I loved it that, you know, really C-section was the last thing. Hospital was the last thing.
Right, but and I feel that even with the last birth, you know, even with everything that you guys tried, you guys weren't so ready to just say C-section, you know. Whereas at the hospital, they're like, oh well, you know,
If you can't have this baby.
we need to, you know, they
Within
rushing
the
you. Oh, C-section. I didn't feel rushed.
Yeah.
I didn't feel, you know, like it was, oh, if I don't do this, you know, they're gonna go ahead and rush me. It was like, the baby is gonna be ready when the baby is ready. Go ahead and rest. Go ahead and lay down.
Go lay back.
It was that still again that reassurance, like everything is gonna be okay. Baby's not ready, and that's okay. Where I wouldn't have gotten that at a hospital. It would have been like, look, we ready, and we don't know about the baby, but we ready. The next person need this bed in this room. We need you to go. We ready,
Right.
and it would have been C-section, you know, and yeah.
Now, in the hospital bed too, I think it's that confinement.
Yes.
Like you feel locked.
Yes.
You know, like you're almost enchained.
Well, that was what the way it
Absolutely.
was designed to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Versus, you know, the idea of being able to just watch her walk around,
Mm-hmm.
to roam the house for free, and to feel that she's in the comfort of her own home. Like, I loved it.
And
I was like, look, we got the whole family here. We good.
yes,
You know?
and to answer back on that question, the misconception of a home birth in a hospital birth. In a hospital, you're told you can't eat, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I was always, you know, even with a home birth, I was like, well, dang, is that the same thing? Well, no, you could cook you a meal if you want to. You can do a lot. You can walk around. You can eat. It's, you know, in a hospital, it's like, oh, you can't do this. It's so many restrictions
Yeah.
to having your child,
Yeah.
and you know your needs aren't being met. Whereas at home, it's your house. This is your baby. Your baby's gonna come when it's ready. Take your time. Go eat. Go rest. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say to families who might be considering the thought of home birth?
Do it.
Look, man,
If they're a candidate to do it,
Do
if they're a
it.
candidate to do it, do it.
Do it.
I would
It's-
say it is support. There's love in that room.
And it's beautiful. It's
It's-
a beautiful experience. And I would, if I could have another baby,
Yeah, no.
maybe.
Yeah.
Look, maybe.
Yeah.
But no.
I know you not.
You
having
know,
no baby.
if
Yeah,
I
it's not
could have had
possible.
my first two at home, yes, I would have had all four of them. But yes, do it. Do it. Absolutely. I'm a big advocate for home births.
Wow.
And a lot of women that I see that are pregnant, you know, I ask them, have you considered home birth? They'll say, I've thought about it, but I'm afraid. Well, why?
Yeah.
Do it. You would never know unless you try.
And men are like wanting to provide, right? So we come in and we feel like we want to gain some form of control, some type of assistance. Everybody move out the way. My wife's about to have a baby,
Yeah.
right? And you don't get that level of control. But in the home birth situation, the man actually has control.
You're
so he
helping.
feels
Does
good. Yeah, in some way.
You're
It-
helping. I
mentally-
would say you're helping. You
Yeah.
know, you,
Well, I mean,
you're
in terms of like the exercising and all the classes and all
So
the things.
participation.
Participation.
Yes.
So I mean, we had to blow up the water thing
Okay,
and all
you
that.
in control
you
of
know?
blowing the pool
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Okay, I got you.
yeah.
Okay, now I got you.
Get the supplies.
and filling the pool
We
up.
had to have some type of
okay.
activism. There's
in
a
charge of that. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
And the massaging of the back, and you know,
we had a
yes,
lot to
okay.
do with it.
Very
No,
much so
okay.
participant.
You did have a lot to do with
Yes,
it.
you are the
Yeah.
number one
Yeah.
participant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's got to be, consistent.
Good.
So she pushing, I'm here. right?
Excellent.
Yeah. So that was the beauty of it.
My number one fan. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
You know I love y'all, right?
We love you too.
I hope you enjoyed our last interview with Mike and Samaya. And now we are with Malika and Omar, who is another BBG family.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing?
How are you?
We are
Wonderful,
great.
wonderful.
Can you introduce yourselves to our audience?
I can. I am Malika. First time mom, home birth, rocked it,
Period.
period.
And I am Omar, Malia's father, also a DJ by day and the husband by lifetime.
That's so silly.
Beautiful.
Mm,
I really wanted y'all to be here
Okay.
as first time parents
Yes.
Yeah.
because I think people need to hear why you all chose home birth as your route for your first baby,
Yeah.
right? Like it's crazy to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The people tell you.
Definitely.
it is.
So whose idea was it to have a home birth?
It was me,
Yeah,
right?
it was you.
I have a friend who had two, not home births, but water births. Back when she had her children, they weren't really doing home births. That wasn't popular. So she talked to me about the naturalness of it, how water birthing is, all the benefits, how it's better, how serene it was. And I mean, pretty much everything that I've done in life beforehand was holistic. I
Mm.
mean, when it comes to health, I'm trying to find a holistic way to do things. So
Definitely.
I was already on board. Even though I don't have a high pain tolerance, I mean, to me,
You had a whole baby at the house.
baby, and
She-
you know what
That's
was
what
I
she was worried
asking you
about the most.
every pre-visit? What was I
How
asking you?
how much pain?
How's it gonna hurt? I can't imagine this baby coming. I couldn't.
But what was interesting is you came to us midway through your pregnancy,
No, it wasn't. I found out I was pregnant at the end of July. I think I contacted you in August. I think I saw you at the end of August.
Oh, I thought you were.
I know
kind
you
of
ain't got me
from-
mixed up.
Girl, I don't have you mixed up, child. I
No,
thought
because
you
we-
did.
No, because we actually, because it's crazy how it all happened because a friend of mine, a DJ also, and Dirty and Michael, they told us about y'all, and
Shout out
She-
to Michael.
she
Yeah,
actually
shout out.
called, and
Mhm.
we talked about it, and it just seemed seamless. Like,
Everything that happened with the way we found y'all was seamless because my friend was trying to get me onto who she had gone through, and they wouldn't contact me back. And I sat in my living room and literally prayed, God, if this is for me, please let it just come to me. Let me just find somebody. I mean, literally that exact prayer. And I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, but we were just on the phone, couple talking, and she was like, girl, I got somebody for you. Not only that, but then when we looked you up, you were 10 minutes from my house. I said, God, you
Crazy.
are my best friend. You
Yeah.
just know how to answer those prayers. So I already knew it was destined. I knew it was for me just by those things happening seamlessly as they did. So
and the funny
I found you,
thing,
girl.
and the funny thing is how the conversation happened. Me and him get on the phone and we joke all day, and he was like, "Boy, you better do a home birth," and I was just like, in my head, I don't know nothing about that. I
Right.
didn't know nothing about it, And then you made it all real for us.
Yeah.
Did you all feel prepared for the home birth?
I think we did. I mean, we couldn't get any more prepared than we were. I was just afraid. I'm not gonna lie. I was afraid all the way up until.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came down to what I had to do, fear was overridden by strength.
Yes.
The wellness of my baby, the benefits for me and my baby. That's the whole reason why I want to do it. There was no doubt about it. You have an option of, if you can't do this, then you can go to the hospital. And I remember telling my friend, I didn't even think about that being an option during time. It was never an option. It just never dawned on me. Even though I was, when people ask, I was like, yeah, well, I can go to the hospital if, in the moment, it was like the hospital didn't exist. I never thought about it, not one time.
What did your families think of your idea to birth at home? What was that like?
Well, my mom's a nurse. So, of course, she's all in the Western medicine field, whether
Okay.
she wants to, own it or not. But I didn't really get much pushback from my family. I think I really only talked about it in depth with my mom. A little bit with my sisters, too. And they did the typical thing. Well, good luck, girl, because I had this and I had that. I heard all the horror stories, but I also know that nobody's birth is the same. Nobody's body is the same. Nobody's experience is the same.
Right.
One thing that I didn't hear was the same story from everybody. Everybody had a different story. So then I knew that, you know, being a God-fearing woman, what's for me is for me. How it's going to go is how it's going to go, whether I'm at home or hospital. I mean, I'd rather be in the hands of somebody who is rooting for me rather than trying to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's just clocking in and going, you know,
Oh, God.
ready to get back home, you know?
Yeah.
What would you say, Omar, to dads that, you know, may not know anything about home birth, which is most dads probably?
I would tell them that y'all really, like, y'all answered any question I had. Y'all made it very real, and y'all helped me understand what was going on, because I really didn't know. Like, I was just like, oh, you want to do a home birth? I bet. You know, that was, you know.
Shout out to my husband for supporting me.
Hello.
And
No
like,
pushback.
yeah, and that's how I know, because it's like it had to be God, because there's no pushback from me, and I'm like, all right, this is what we're supposed to be doing. But yeah, y'all just made it very real, made it very, how do I say this? Made it very, like,
Easy.
and y'all, you know, you brought it to life, really, like, because, you know,
And from the
I
moment
didn't know,
we
because
met
I've
you-
never, you know, this is our first child together, so
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. So,
And from the time we met you guys, y'all were like family.
Yeah,
Instantly.
definitely.
Everybody.
yeah, we look forward to y'all visits.
Yeah.
Always.
Even though we was like 5 minutes late.
Loved y'all coming
Forward to y'all
in.
visits.
Yeah.
Malika and Omar coming today. We about to be in here laughing and cackling.
Oh my God.
Would you do it again?
Definitely.
Of course. I can't do it.
Of course.
How can I go from a home birth to a hospital
You know.
birth? Like, I would look at myself some type of way. Like, girl, you did it already. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah,
Just do it again.
we think so. You know, she'd be like, my stomach hurt, and I'd be like, do we need to call Christine?
My stomach hurting.
Hey,
Okay.
but yeah, it's definitely going down again, exactly like it was the last time, as far as the preparation.
I think you shocked yourself.
I did. I
think she
was
did too.
terrified of
Because
pain.
throughout the pregnancy, you're like, and me and Donna like, girl, what's she gonna do? We like, what?
No, how did y'all think I was gonna do? That's
We
what I want to
didn't
know.
because there's one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either you were gonna tap out, like freak out,
Yeah,
or go all in it because you didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you don't know, you're at the end by the time you're thinking about giving up. The baby was out, Malika.
that's what y'all kept saying. I said, "Do you see the head?" Like I'm
Your
trying to
doula
see.
was like, she feels like pushing. I'm like, no, she doesn't.
Oh, not feels like
The baby was coming.
was. And you know what's so funny? A lot of people I talked to that went to hospital births, I'm like, do y'all know that y'all body actually push you have no control? Like they don't even get to experience that
Yeah.
because they immediately want to disable your body's natural way of doing this. Your body is equipped with everything it needs to do this. When God made woman, he didn't make what's the big tube? I don't forgot the name. The epidural. He didn't create all that. You had exactly what you needed when you came into this earth. And I trusted my body more than anything. That's really what I guess where I found my strength. Because my body literally started pushing for me. I had no control. It was amazing.
She was ready.
Well, y'all know I love you.
Yeah,
And I appreciate you sharing today.
we love you. I like you. You're not a pediatrician. You can't see my baby this area.
The way y'all bring me these babies, honey, I'm like,
Is it
hello?
over? I gotta have a baby to see you. Like, come on.
No, you don't.
I know. We love y'all so much.
Thanks
y'all
for
are her
sharing.
aunties.
I hope you enjoyed our interview with Malika and Omar, our first-time parents for home birth. Okay, so we are with Brandon and Brandy,
For sure.
Okay.
a BBG family, okay? Don't get it
Yes.
twisted.
Absolutely.
Home birth.
Absolutely.
I love y'all.
We love you. Like,
Y'all are up here looking real good. I think the next baby's on the way.
Why you putting it on? Like, what's up with
Because I saw you
you? What I do?
messing with her and stuff.
That's always. You can't,
always.
I can't keep my hands
Always.
up front like in real life.
Yep.
Ow.
Black love. Come on here.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Tell us who you are. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
You can go for it. Go ahead.
I am Brandy Henderson
I'm Brandon Henderson. I'm the husband of Mrs. Brandy. How about that?
and
Yes,
the
sir.
wife of Brandon.
So you gonna flirt with me on camera?
Ooh,
like that?
y'all in love. In love, honey.
Just showing up. It's all right. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's okay.
Anniversary coming up.
Also, I only get lucky then.
No.
Hello.
See,
Okay.
Hello?
See,
Let's go. I'm
acting
sorry.
up.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're an
acting up.
educator.
Yes, I'm okay. Yes, I'm an educator, middle school educator at that. That's my passion. That's my heart and passion.
Bless your heart.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
For sure. I mean, I act. You know what I'm saying? So of course the strike going on. So everybody's like on standby.
Hmm.
But I do a little stuff on social media right now. So
Where can they find you?
Coach Black _back on IG. Same on TikTok. Facebook is Bartholomew Hensley. Yeah, I think I'm on fan bases, Coach Black _back as well.
Threads.
And Threads. I mean, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cut
Yeah.
up.
And me, you can find me on my teacher page at
The teacher page,
BEE_cave CAVE
Yeah.
360.
for sure.
That's where I kind of reveal and post some of my education things, all the
Mhm.
things education.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here because the world needs to hear your story, your birth story.
Gotcha.
You all have
Yeah.
also experienced hospital birth and
Yes.
home birth. So I'd love to hear your perspective and just feedback on the differences in care that you received and, just kind of walk us through your journey briefly.
Cool.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, so we have 3 boys. So our first boy, my first son, we were a little young. We were in our early 20s, and so it was a totally different
Sure.
experience.
Right.
A lot of love was shown in the hospital, but we were nervous. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just listening to whatever the government assistance gave us.
Gotcha.
To be honest,
Mhm.
all of that,
Mhm.
Medicaid, all of that.
Mhm.
And then our second son, I really felt like I could have had him natural, all natural, everything. But because we were at home and it took us about an hour to go to the hospital.
It's like an hour and a half with
Yeah,
traffic.
yeah, hour and a half. You're right, on a Monday in the middle of traffic.
Right.
And we were at home and I was dealing with all of the pains because I could tolerate pain very well.
Mhm.
Sure.
That's
Okay.
how, yeah. This one right here.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. Talk.
You gonna have me sweating.
I'm sorry.
Baby number 3 came,
That's
and
right.
what had happened?
Right. So baby number 3 came and we started off at the hospital. We started off our first trimester for
Mhm.
sure at the hospital. And it was in 2021.
Mhm.
So that was second year of COVID.
Got it.
So it was a very uncomfortable experience. This man, my husband, has always been with me for each appointment, each visit, whatever was going on, he was always there.
Mhm.
So the minute they told me that he could not come in the room with me for a regular prenatal
Mm.
visit,
Right.
Mhm.
it's like, oh, no, y'all done lost y'all mind. Like, I understand COVID is real. I understand COVID is here.
Right.
But my spouse can't be here for moral support with me.
Mm.
My spouse can't be here for me for just I've never went through, the prenatal visit and the whole care without him here. Like
Mhm.
he's the all-time best husband, all-time best father, everything. Like what?
Right.
And so that was unfortunately no. So it was a lot of back and forth. Like one visit, they said he can be there. The next visit, he couldn't be there. Then the next visit,
Interesting.
we were trying to FaceTime and they were like, oh no, you have to put your phone up.
Wow.
And so we were like,
So,
yeah.
So whose idea was it to explore home birth?
Both of ours,
Yeah.
really. Because actually for our second son, we thought after we had him, I had started reading about
Mhm,
it and
mhm.
I thought about it. I was like, hey, what about like having a baby at home?
Mm.
And then he's always so supportive. He was like, okay, I'm with it.
Right.
What? No hesitation or anything.
Right.
And so when we got pregnant with our third son, I just kind of forgot about it. And through the power of social media, this is what
Mhm.
social media is really like,
it really influenced. It's a good thing. You know, social media can be
Sure.
a bad thing,
Sure.
but it was a blessing. And I was just, you know, going through social media, and I found Birth by Grace. I was like, and I'm really, really keen on, like, is this a woman, and is she Black, and what's her background?
Mhm,
So when I
mhm.
started doing my homework, going through your page, looking through, and I was like, oh, let me set a consultation up. And I sent it to Brandon,
Right.
and Brandon was looking through it as well. And he had started sending me so many videos of home births. You remember that?
So you got all in it.
I was excited. I'm always excited for my
Yeah.
kids, like for sure, because I think I experienced a lot in the hospital with her when we had our other boys, and I saw some stuff that she didn't see
Oh, okay.
while on the opposite side. Like with our first child, I saw like it was rushed, and I felt like they tried to play us because we was young. Although we finessed the system, you know, saying with Medicaid and
Sure,
stuff, but it
yeah.
was just like they tried to get us in and get us out. You know, so they got us this big old grand room. They got us up in there, but it was like, okay, just push, push, push. And I'm like, wait, hold up, like you're not gonna prep her for anything. You just gonna let her get on the table and say push. And then when she couldn't take the pain, oh, let's bend her over and get her epidural. I'm like, hold on, let's get her prepared for all this stuff that you about to take her through, because if one wrong move, she's paralyzed. Y'all ain't got to deal with this no more. You see what I'm saying? This is something that we're gonna have to embrace as a family together. And so as time, you know, went on, I never mentioned home birth to her about our second child, but even with our second child, we went to the hospital. Well, we rushed to the hospital on a Monday morning, fought traffic, got there, and I'm whipping. Like I got in the driveway. I was cutting people out, blowing my horn, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when we got there, I got into the emergency parking area, and I'm blowing my horn like, hey, where's the emergency room? She's dilated and everything. We know she's dilated because, you know, so she has a high tolerance for pain. Get to the hospital, and I'm like, yo, where we go? Where we go? What we do? Da 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 da. So they get us to the floor, and when I tell you people moving like molasses, like, oh, well, you can just sit over there in the wheelchair. I'm like, lady, man, are you crazy right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? You guys set us up with this hospital. This is what the physicians were. You know what I'm saying? You guys are supposed to tell us what we're supposed to be doing, not us telling you what we want from you. You understand what I'm saying? Like the compassion just wasn't there for me. Like it was just a big red flag. And even like when she got in, I feel as though they were doing certain things to her to prolong her birth. They were also introducing to her to things that she didn't necessarily have to have, just to kind of like keep her inside the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Running up a tab versus me feeling comfortable with our home birth. It was totally different, like totally different. It was stuff that I seen in the hospital that I would never recommend like people to just go and do or even experience. Like I'm not just saying that because we sitting here talking right now. That's like real life.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a friend. I'm very opposed to hospitals and births. Like it's just not something that like I think Black women especially should have to endure. Like I
That
think
part.
the pain level that they assume that Black women can tolerate is off the charts in comparison to our counterparts. And I'm not saying, you know, white people shouldn't do home births, but they would let a Black woman sit on the table and go through all kind of excruciating pain and be like, oh, she's fine, it's a part of labor. And I saw that for her. So I didn't want her to go through that for a third time. So when she told
what was your family's response?
me, y'all some hippies.
Yeah, we are always like
Rebellious
The different
too.
people.
the different
for sure,
people.
for
Yeah,
sure.
we're always the different people, but it's still love and support.
Absolutely.
Like that's the thing. Like they expect us to just
Do something random.
something. Yes,
Gotcha.
like
It's in our nature.
yes, it really is. They always like
Okay, so no real pushback from your family.
no real pushback. They like they'll look at us weird. Like okay, well what y'all need? Like all in the same breath. Like
Right.
Everyone was
Okay.
excited.
yes.
The whole village.
Because you almost
Yes.
had that baby before I can get there.
Yes,
Baby
yes,
slid out.
real fast. Yes, he almost had to deliver
I
the
remember
baby.
him trying to go get that hose,
Yes,
going outside. I'm like, fuck that back.
yo, don't do that. Don't do that.
Nobody's using that
do
right.
that. Don't do
right. And
that.
I had
Don't do
I told him, Christine,
at
like,
one job.
please make
No,
sure
I had
you have.
what? I had way more
Yeah,
than
he
one
did.
job. Like, come
He
on.
did.
I was a masseuse. Like, even though y'all, the masseuse that came to, well, not the masseuse, the chiropractor that came to the house, like, she was dope.
And
Like,
I felt like, although I was a third-time mom, I
Yeah.
felt
All
like
brand
a
new.
brand new
Yeah, it was brand new.
mom, but it was so more refreshing.
Right.
It was so like each visit that we had at your office, I felt like,
I'm going to auntie y'all.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
my
or big
cousin,
cuz,
my cousin.
auntie, but like
I mean, you
big
know what I'm saying, it's our
cousin.
family.
Like I
Yeah.
felt like the smell, like the vibes, we weren't rushed. It felt like it just felt so amazing.
Mm.
Like I don't think I ever returned back to work. Like after our visits, I would tell them like, yeah, I'm coming in later.
Like, I'm off.
But yeah, I
Okay.
end
Wow,
up
it was
like,
real
well,
vibe, for real.
I
It
end up
was.
saying something like, I can't come in because it was just, you know, that relief. Like it was just so amazing. Like from the first, even from the not the face to face, but the virtual consultation that we had. And I remember
you at work.
Yeah, I was at work. I had to sneak behind the building.
I remember.
I was like, watch my class. And I had to like, listen, I am interested. How do I sign up?
Right.
And just, you know, I was like, I know I can tolerate pain because that was my fear. Like,
Mhm.
I think a woman that have a home birth probably got to have a high tolerance of pain. So I have to make sure I tell her that, like, I can tolerate pain. I remember saying that, like, I can tolerate pain because of my second child. I stayed at home until by the time I got to the hospital, I had
Right.
dilated 8 centimeters.
Right, she was ready.
So that's how I was like,
That thing
I
be
can
open.
do
For
it.
sure. Good job. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what would you advise other families thinking about home birth, or, you know, if they're like maybe considering exploring that option for themselves?
Yes, if
Like,
they
why
are
not?
able,
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what your family may think, friends, the world, society. Like, do it.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, I forgot the title of the book, but
Mhm.
because I'm a reader and I
Mhm.
started reading the book before I even reached out to you, and just like hearing the stories on how we used to have our births anyway, how midwives
Mhm.
used to care. Like it's a community spiritual event.
For
Right.
sure.
Like it's a whole event where you're not supposed to the hospital way, that's not the
Natural
real
way.
natural way.
Right.
So just I would absolutely, if any woman that is considering or any man that's considering, do it. Do not hesitate. Because y'all take care of us, and you show me how to take care of myself, and you show him how to take care of me, and you show us as a couple how to take care of each other. Like it's a beautiful experience.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of information that was given like throughout the process. Even though we came like it wasn't halfway, it was like a little bit before half.
Second trimester.
Right, but like the information that you provided for us, like you know what I'm saying, especially like with the birthing classes, like it's interactive. You know what I'm saying, being able to sit there and see other parents go through the same thing that we going through,
Sure.
also bouncing knowledge off one another, and not feeling like I'm doing this all by myself or trying to be finesse. You see what I'm saying? You're very transparent, very like homey. I think the biggest thing I remember is like the tea and the socks. Like every time we come into the place, y'all just be chilling, but it's just
Chilling.
like it's
Yes.
information that I'm being given, and it's not like it ain't no pressure. You never made me feel like I was stupid, even though I read. You know, what I'm saying we both avid readers, but it's just like I'm learning through this process, and I can see this process hands on. I don't have to be nervous. You know what I'm saying? Or the way you prepped us was like, look, if this happened, look, go this route. If this happened, go this route. I think you said, you know, get the water hose, but I messed up on that. I dropped the ball.
But it's all
okay.
good.
It's all good. Yeah.
We
Because
forgive
we
you.
still had the water therapy when you
You
told
got in
him
that shower.
get in the
I
shower.
bathed her real good.
Yes.
Shout out.
And
And the
Yeah,
baby
little
slid
tea.
out.
Oh, he slid
Yes.
straight up out of there. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, bro came up out of there in no time.
Yes.
What was that?
absolutely.
Beyonce? What was that?
Yeah, Black is
Beyonce
King.
was
the
Yeah.
whole
throughout the building,
Yeah.
throughout the
What was that?
whole label.
Black is
Candles,
King.
all the
incense.
Yes. The
Dang.
smells came from
Yeah,
her.
they did. They did. Yeah,
Yes,
but it was
yes.
dope. I really appreciate it. Honest to God, I tell people about y'all all the time.
Yeah, I do
really
too.
do. I do.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell them too. You know, what I'm saying be prepared for what to come along with it. You know, it's an experience. It's not just going to the hospital and seeing a doctor.
Right.
Like you see
Yeah.
somebody that cares about you and they got a bond with your baby, and that baby gonna love them for the rest of their day. Like I think I seen we were out and we seen someone, you know, in a part of the team, and the baby just embraced her. Like he loved her so much.
Yes.
I loved on her so much because he saw her. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just,
Oh yes, I heard. I was jealous
why are you jealous for?
because
Like,
I
it's-
wasn't there.
don't worry
Oh
about it.
yeah.
We family. It's
Well,
all
thank
good.
you.
It's
Thank
all
y'all.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
all
y'all.
good. It's
Thank
all
y'all
good.
so much, and thanks for
sure.
my cake you brought me.
Absolutely.
Oh no, that's mine.
No.
Shoot, that's with
Thank y'all for sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love y'all
Absolutely.
so much.
Love
we
you
love
more,
you too.
For sure.
I'm here with our BBG daddies, and they're going to share some words of encouragement and advice for dads and their role in pregnancy, birth, and beyond. So who can start that off for us? How do you support your wife?
Man, where do we go?
Because this is important, right?
This
Because
is.
dads don't know, they
This
don't have the
is fun.
tools they need to support their wives,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
their spouses, their partners, or what have you, right? So what are some like basic, what's some really good advice you could give for them to help them through that?
Yeah. A lot of dads, they get nervous
Mhm.
because you might not be married, you might be married. And, when you expose yourself for the first time like that and you want to be around somebody and you find out that, your spouse or the significant other is pregnant, you get nervous, right? You don't
Okay.
know what you're going to do. And so I tell dads all the time, and as a father of 4, you want to own that whole process.
Mm.
You are to love, you are to support, you are to give your all. You busy is nothing. You're bringing a child into the world.
Mhm.
So you have to really understand that it's all about sacrifice from the point in to point out. And I think all of us could relate to that.
Mhm.
You're giving your all every minute, every hour. And so as a father, it's not about you. Guys aren't taught to mentally be ready to take on that. We're taught to, go out there, if you meet a good one, cool, go ahead and go meet somebody else, whatever. But you're not really taught to train on how to love a woman, let alone how to make sure that you're supporting a spouse. So when you have a child, you're now getting the chance to see love in many different angles. And so I tell dads all the time, you in it for the long haul. This isn't one-stop shop.
Mhm.
Get ready to embrace all of that and to embrace your spouse because she's about to change forever.
Mhm.
And that's
Life
huge.
is changing forever.
Life is changing forever. Yeah, that part. That part. So, yeah.
Yes. I think it's important because we always talk about just your very presence is very valuable, and very needed. When we walk through pregnancy with our families and with our moms, and the dads are always, everyone looks the same. You know what I mean? Like that face of like, what do I do now? What's next and what do I do about it?
Right.
It's just a huge question mark. And we just say how much your presence means so much, right?
Yeah.
So Omar, talk to dads about how they can support, their spouse.
The advice I would give myself and other dads, because I needed it and I still need it for when this next baby come,
Oh,
is
Lord.
that it ain't no announcement yet. So,
Right.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
Not yet.
wait a minute.
But,
That man, good job.
but basically,
Congrats.
get out of yourself.
Mm.
This ain't about you at all. Like, cause she gonna be a whole different woman when it's time to she gonna be a lot meaner. Get out your feelings. I'm a Cancer. I had to get out my feelings,
Mm.
and it's crazy because I was so nervous. I actually started barbecuing. I was like, wow. Why is she up there cleaning up? She's like, is the food done? Like, I'm like, nah, but just basically get out your feelings and be the best, be supportive as possible. As I look back on the whole pregnancy journey, it's a lot of things I would do different. A lot of things I would, be a lot more compassionate to,
Sure.
because I ain't never been through this, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just patience. Build your patience up as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my main thing, I would say.
For sure.
That's powerful. I like that. Get out your feelings. It's not about you.
It ain't.
My turn,
Yeah.
I guess. I think steering it back to the beginning of everything. For one, you got to be intentional with who you have a child with.
For sure.
I think a lot of people we are just having sex and we're not thinking about what comes about after you have sex.
Well,
Right.
come on
Right.
here.
I mean, I'm being straight up, being
That's real.
transparent,
That's
totally
real.
transparent.
Yeah.
And so, you can't fault the person that you have a child with for being who they are if you never got a chance to know them.
Mm.
So we as men have to be accountable for what we putting out there. Straight up,
Definitely.
Definitely.
So
That's
that
a
energy,
word.
straight up, that energy transfers from
Real.
who we've been with to who we are with,
Right.
and it comes into this world.
Yeah.
So us holding ourselves to the higher esteem
That's right.
is what we truly need to do first.
Mm.
Then once that process takes place, like you said, I'm gonna put butter on your bread. Get out your way.
Yeah.
Get out your own way. This woman is carrying a whole nother life form
Mhm.
for the betterment of this earth. Like for both of y'all, it ain't just you.
Mm.
Yeah.
It ain't just her. Like the world is now changing because of what you guys are bringing into the world. And if
Yeah.
both of y'all are toxic, both of y'all are bad people, y'all gonna have some toxic babies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So allow grace. And I'm not, no pun intended, but allow grace. Like
Mm.
allow a lot of grace.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times I'm very tactful and very poignant, but like she's carrying a whole nother life. So I can't like, come on, come on. I can't do that no more.
Sure.
Like I can't do that. Like that's not fair for her and what she got going on. Like you got to give her time to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Move around. Like the baby may be reacting to certain stuff that she's feeling as well. So if you stressing her out, the baby gonna be stressed as well. So take your time with her. You know, take your time with yourself. Forgiveness is key as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of emotions that come along with being pregnant. I've never been pregnant myself, although I look like it. You know.
Me too, brother.
My bad, bro.
good.
But it's just like there's a lot that come along with that. And with that being said, we as men have to be very understanding of those emotions that, you know, saying those women go through. So just being understanding and listening to, you know, things that are happening to her, subtle changes, and embrace those changes, you know, and move accordingly. So that's it for me.
So how did home birth like transform your thinking or your lives in any way? Like what was the impact of that experience as a dad, as a partner? You know, how did it change any of your perspective on your lives?
Y'all wanna go?
I go.
Sure.
Like, cause initially when the baby was born, I didn't cry. I was happy. And like the next day, I just started leaking out of nowhere. Like, why am I crying? Like, I was like, nigga, you just had a baby in the room. In the room. It's like,
Yeah.
and it kind of let me know that ain't nothing too hard to do.
Mm.
Like, if she can do that, we can do anything.
Mm.
So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, I would say I think the home birth experience was probably the most calm state that I ever seen my wife in. Because majority of the time she's moving, she's taking care of a bunch of things, handling the bills, running around the house, and it was like just a moment to see people cater to her
Mm.
outside of me having to do that was just phenomenal. People coming in, supporting, you know, did you eat? What do you need? You know, it was nice to see all this attention on her and for her to feel comfortable.
Mm.
I remember during the pregnancy of our third, Ali, just like in the fourth one, she started getting nauseous. And I remember saying like, oh my God, like she's about to throw up. And then literally like Christine runs over there and I don't know what you gave her, peppermint or something. And she put it in this plastic bag and then all the nausea went away. Like it was like moments like that where I was just like, they wouldn't did that in the hospital. You know what I mean? That wouldn't happen in the hospital. So those opportunities like that and to really embrace it and to see just how supportive people around in that one time that all mothers can feel that way.
Mm.
You know, for me it was that calm state that now I think as a father I try to get those moments. I'm like, look, I can put you in that calm state too, but I don't know how to do it like they did it. You know what I mean? But I try to make sure our house now has that same tranquil feel because of how it all stemmed from what the whole birthing experience was for Birth by Grace.
I like that.
That's
That's
beautiful.
dope. Yeah. I think for me, I mean, I've seen 2 live births before, prior to Boston's arrival. And I mean, we've heard about the Ring of Fire, but I never had the chance to really like see that Ring of Fire take place and her body reacting to that Ring of Fire.
Mm.
So I think mentally I was trying to over prepare for it, like while sitting there, like, oh, Christine, what's up? We ready? We good, right? And so like when her body transitioned from a push to that push when that Ring of Fire really hit, and I can't never put that into words, like even while sitting here beside you. Like that's something that the moment that I share with her, Boston, and myself, like it'll never go away.
Wow.
So I try not to disturb that memory in my life as much as possible, but I also try to just make sure that I appreciate her for going through that. Like without an epidural, without any like, you know what I'm saying, pain medication and stuff. Like that was something that her body endured and she triumphed through it. Excuse me, I can't even talk, I'm getting emotional. Oh. But yeah, that's a life-changing event for me. So if somebody that you love professes that same love for you and they do something like that for you, like how could you not hold them to a higher esteem? Like how could you not do that? So but I think also home births um it just took me back mentally to our roots, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Because I mean, we see and we hear about all the things that our ancestors had to endure prior to our arrival, and all the amenities that we nowadays like are afforded. Just like we take this stuff for granted. It's just like, oh, we gonna get a shot for this, a shot for that. But to see like her go through that whole entire process, like I felt like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying, this is major, this is huge, this is heavy. So those memories forever like live rent free in my head.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. Like in real life.
that is so sweet.
Nah, for real. Like it's
Y'all are everything.
nah, hey, it's real. It's a real thing, you know.
BBG daddies.
BBG daddies,
All
baby
day.
daddies,
Hashtag.
All
birthday daddies, for sure,
All
for
day.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. We are back with BBG mamas. We heard from the daddies. We're hearing from mamas now.
All right.
Oh my God, y'all. So we
Hello.
have to hear from you guys, okay? There are lots of women out here who are afraid to give birth in the hospital. They don't know their options. They don't know where to go or what to explore. So can you, in a few sentences, just kind of give some guidance and some advice about what they should do and how they should approach their care?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got it?
Okay, go ahead.
I'll start. Being a first time mom, I really can't give an account for what it's like in the hospital. But I do know that I was afraid based off of things like the mortality of African American women. Just all of the things that they have in place to kind of traumatize your baby entering this world. Things like that made me so afraid to even go to the hospital. Just not feeling like my life would be a priority, that my baby's life, the first impression of the world is not a priority to them. Like they just, to me, do not care. I've actually witnessed my sister give birth at a hospital back in the day, and it was crazy. So I didn't want anything like that. I feel like the birth of your baby should be a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. I channeled my ancestors. They did it. Why can't I? That's something you could tell people if they are giving you pushback. Like, this is what they were doing before hospitals were implemented. Like, this is what my body is made to do. And your body is going to do it. It's going to do it. You don't need any interventions. Something that they also don't talk about is a lot of things that go wrong at the hospital is because they are provoking them. They're prolonging, they're making it quicker, they're rushing the baby, they're traumatizing your baby in the womb. So that's why your baby don't want to come out. Or that's why you're having a hard time. Your baby got this. You and your baby have this. And with the assistance of an amazing midwife, your doulas, that's all you need. You get to set your scene. Who doesn't want to do that?
Right,
You know?
absolutely.
Sure.
I agree. I'll just chime in very quickly. I agree. The whole home birth experience, it can be a little intimidating. I'm not going to say scary. It can be intimidating because it's but anything that is worth it, anything that is new, anything that is fresh, it can be. But this is and I said this before, this is a spiritual experience, period. And when you're I'm a third time mom, but first time giving birth at home. And so I had the experience of giving babies at the hospital before. And giving birth at the hospital, man is first. The doctors and the nurse, they are first. But when you're giving birth at home and having your expertise and your team help us and go through this experience with us, you put us first. You make us put ourselves first in our baby, learning to listen to our bodies, learning the different positions to even push and give birth. Like, that was a whole thing within itself. You know, at the hospital, it's always one position. Lay on your back, push.
No. When we learn from you, what position do you feel comfortable in? You don't have to be on your back. You could be on your side. You could squat. Whatever. You want to stand up. Whatever position you want to be in. You could be in the pool. Whatever you feel like doing. So even, educating us with that, and through that entire experience, I would just tell future moms, like, don't let fear get in your way. Just do it. Just to piggyback off of what you were saying, like, it is our ancestors did it. We can in birth beautiful babies. We can do the same thing. We are doing it, and it's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Oh my goodness. Although I was afraid, I was not intimidated, but I was afraid because I didn't know what came along with the home birthing experience until I had met Christine. And like you said, when you're in that process of pushing that baby out, it's like your body knows automatically what to do. You hone in with, to me, I was honing in with my ancestors.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was just like, they did it. I'm going to do this. And my body naturally knew what to do on its own. Naturally. I was pushing. The baby was coming. And all those medicines and epidurals, like with my first 2 pregnancies, neither one of them took. My last baby, that ring of fire, I was telling the nurse, I'm feeling a ring of fire. She would tell me, oh, that's just pressure. No, ma'am. The baby head was there. It was too late to get the nurse. Stop pushing. I'm not doing nothing. Again, my body is naturally doing what it is supposed to do. It's pushing that baby out on its own. So any first-time mom having a baby, thinking about a baby, do your research. Yeah.
Know what's for you. And I would say, like I said again before, I'm an advocate for home births. This is what you're supposed to do. It's what your body is naturally supposed to do before the medicines, before the epidurals, before the doctors were doctors. These are things that they were taught. Your body does not have to be taught how to birth.
That part, right?
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing. I love all of y'all.
We love you.
You all
me
are so
too.
special to me.
Yeah.
You really are. And I feel so honored to be able to be a part of your birth stories. You all are just very special people to me. Your families, your husbands, your stories, your everything. And I'm just so glad that you were able to share with everybody that, respectful care is something you deserve. Women deserve, and going after what you want is priority.
Yes.
Over everything else.
Your
over
voice
anyone's
matters.
opinions or anyone's societal standards, right?
Yep.
So we need to have more of these conversations. So
Yes.
having y'all back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You better call me.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
better
Why
call
wouldn't
me.
you? Yes.
I got a lot more to say.
Right. Same.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. In today's episode of the Birth Exchange podcast, we have normalized the conversation around home birth. And we thank our BBG families for coming and sharing with you guys. If you're interested in home birth resources and other childbirth education resources, please visit our website where we have a digital library that's very affordable and very accessible. So go there and learn some things and read up on some other options for yourself in your childbirth journey. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Birth Exchange podcast. I'm out.